We often celebrate the success stories, but what about the failures that built them? In this deeply reflective and powerful video, a wise man reveals the hidden struggles and painful lessons behind the world's most successful people. This isn't just motivation, it's a wake-up call for your journey. Watch until the end to uncover the truth about success and the wisdom that only failure can teach. Let this message be your turning point. Subscribe for more weekly life lessons that speak to the soul. Turn on notifications and join the journey of self-discovery, growth, and purpose. Comment below, what failure taught you the most in life? You see a mountain and you think it was always tall, but no one tells you about the storms that carved it, the earthquakes that shook it, or the silence it stood through for centuries. Success is like that. People love to talk about the victories, the awards, the breakthroughs, the applause. But real success, it's buried beneath 1,000 quiet failures. And the strongest souls, the ones you admire, are the ones who didn't run from failure. They leaned into it. Let me tell you something no one taught us in school. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's the foundation of it. Every person you admire, Oprah, Edison, Mandela, Jobs, was once broken, doubted, rejected, dismissed. What made them different wasn't luck or talent. It was what they did after they fell. Let me tell you a story. Steve Jobs was fired from his own company. Imagine building something with your own hands and being told you're not good enough to lead it. But instead of giving up, he started over. And in that period of exile, he built Next and Pixar. That time, that failure became the reason Apple eventually brought him back. And the second act, that's the Apple you know today. Here's the truth. Failure is not a detour, it's the path. But you have to walk it with open eyes and an open heart. He stands, slowly walking along the stream. I remember a time when I tried something I believed in deeply. I gave it my all, time, money, sleepless nights, and it failed. Miserably. I was humiliated. For weeks, I didn't want to show my face, but that failure, it forced me to strip away my pride. It made me humble enough to listen, wise enough to adapt. That moment, my lowest, became the seed of everything that followed. We live in a world obsessed with results. Likes, trophies, titles. But real growth, it happens in the dark. When you're unsure, when you've been knocked down, when it feels like nobody is watching, and yet you keep going. Man paused, then gently smiles. Do you know how many times J.K. Rowling was rejected? 12 publishers turned her down. They told her Harry Potter wouldn't sell, but she didn't stop. Why? Because she believed in the story. She believed in the message. And eventually someone else did too. Here's what I want you to remember. Your failures don't define you. They refine you. They chisel away the ego, the fear, the illusion of control, and they reveal what's real, who you are, what you're made of. So if you're in a place where it feels like nothing's working, you've lost the job, the relationship failed, the dream fell apart, don't run from that space. Sit in it, breathe, and listen. Because in the silence after a failure, that's where your soul starts speaking. Failure is not the enemy, it's a mirror. And sometimes what we see there, our weaknesses, our doubts, our pain, is the very thing we need to face to become who we're meant to be. Success without failure is like light without shadow. It's the struggle that gives the victory meaning. So if you've fallen, good, you're alive, you're learning, and most importantly, you're not done. Let failure teach you. Let it humble you. Let it sharpen your vision and soften your heart. Because one day someone will look at your life and think, wow, they must have always had it figured out. And you'll smile knowing the truth. You didn't avoid failure. You walked through it, and you grew. You know what failure really is? It's the universe's way of stripping away what's not meant for you. So you can finally see what is. We're taught to chase perfection, to avoid risk, to fear embarrassment. But you'll never discover your strength and safety. You'll find it after the fall. When you stand up, bruised, maybe broken, but still willing to try again. Let me tell you about Michael Jordan. He's known as the greatest basketball player of all time. But did you know he was cut from his high school basketball team? Imagine that. A kid who would go on to redefine the sport, told he wasn't good enough. But instead of letting it define him, he used that moment, that sting, that rejection as fuel. He once said, "I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." Success has a rhythm, and failure is part of the beat. There's a wisdom I've learned that the most dangerous thing isn't failure. It's staying still, letting one failure convince you to never try again. I once mentored a young man who wanted to start a business. He had a bright mind, big dreams, and even bigger fears. He launched, and within a year, it collapsed. He came to me, heart heavy, eyes tired, and asked, "Am I just not meant for this?" I looked at him and said, "No, you are meant for something greater because of this." That failed business taught him more than any textbook ever could. Today, he's running a company that employs dozens, and he always tells people, "My success was born in the ashes of my first failure." We forget that growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens in the stretch, in the fall, in the scar that teaches you something no smooth road ever could. Take a moment and reflect. What was your most painful failure? A job you lost? A relationship that ended? A risk that didn't pay off? Now ask yourself, what did you learn? Because if you walked away with wisdom, you didn't fail. You grew. I've always believed life is a series of lessons. Some gentle, some harsh, but all of them necessary. Thomas Edison, the man who brought us the light bulb, failed over 1,000 times before he got it right. When asked how it felt to fail so many times, he said, "I didn't fail 1,000 times. The light bulb was an invention with 1,000 steps." That is perspective. So if today you're feeling behind, if you're stuck in self-doubt or shame over something that didn't work out, I want you to hear this loud and clear. You are not broken, you are becoming. Every scar on your soul, every no you've heard, every door that slammed in your face, is shaping you into someone with depth. Someone who understands resilience not as a theory, but as a truth. You see, the world doesn't need more perfect people. It needs more real ones. People who've fallen and got back up with grace. People who have failed forward. And the moment you stop hiding your failures, the moment you wear them with pride, that's when they stop being weights and start being wings. So what now? Try again? With wisdom, with patience, with humility. Don't wait until everything's perfect. Because the truth is, the most successful people in the world, they're just those who failed and didn't stop. Your story isn't over. You've just turned a page, and the next chapter may be the one that changes everything. If this message reached your heart, share it with someone who needs hope today. Subscribe, reflect, and join me every week as we walk this journey of life together with grace, wisdom, and the courage to keep rising.